whilst you've removed those people from your life, they're most likely talking about you behind your back. Most likely they're trying to make you out to be the evil one because they don't want to face the extreme shame of being discovered, their true character being discovered by you. So instead of facing that shame is going to turn into rage, and they're going to do everything they can to make you pay for that shame. And they're going to say and do anything to turn everyone that's already not clued up to their true character. They're going to make sure that they know that you're the bad one. So they're going to try and destroy your name. But they're not quite as clever as they think they are, because the reality is that probably most people are already quite aware of who they're dealing with. But for us, it's always the ones that are closest to us that we have cognitive dissonance over. We find it very difficult to accept when those who are closest to us are actually our enemies. It's really hard to accept when those that are closest to us really can't stand to see us succeed in life. They can't stand us to be happy. It triggers them. And we don't want to believe it. We don't understand it. But it keeps happening over and over again, doesn't it? Until one day you're forced to take your power back and to realize that you've been lying to yourself all this time, thinking that they thought like you did. They were on your side. They had empathy. They spent far too much of their time in a constant fight or flight triggered state all the time. They could never have empathy. They never understood you because they painted a negative image of you this whole time. They didn't see you. They saw a version of you that they had constructed all of the time. So you're not the bad one, even though they may have convinced you that you were the bad one. But it wasn't you. It was never you. It was that version of you that they created. They constructed. And they targeted. But you identified with that version that they created of you because you thought that they were right about you. But actually, no, you realize, no, this isn't right. I'm a good person. I'm not the bad one. No, they just made you, they scapegoated you. They scapegoated you, and then everyone else got in line so that they would keep the status quo going. They would keep the comforts that they got from that dynamic, because they weren't willing to stand up to that. So when you exposed it, when you had to realize, oh wait, it's not me. It's this dynamic. It's them. And then you expose it, and then everyone turns on you. Everyone turns on you because most people just want to keep it going. They'd rather live in a lie and comfort than to expose the truth and have to deal with the consequences. You were willing to deal with the consequences because you said, no, this isn't right. And then everyone turned on you. That's why you were the scapegoat, because you're the strong one, you're the aware one. And they could see that, they could feel that, could sense that all this time, all your life. They knew. And they knew that they weren't going to to ride that journey with you. So they settled for the darker path. So don't feel bad about letting these people go. They made their choice. They made their choice. They chose darkness. You made your choice. You chose the light. Stick to the light. You made the right decision, cutting them out of your life. Don't look back. Don't give them second chances. You've already given them enough chances already. You have a life to live. You have love to share. That's why I said in my previous video, don't argue with these people, because everything you say, they weaponize and use against you. It's all about power. They're not trying to empathize. They can never empathize with you. They choose a particular stance, which is they see you as a form of supply. Well, you're the enemy, as long as you're not playing ball with them. So when you expose them, when you try to argue or reason with them to try to make them see what's happening, try to make them aware of themselves, you're the enemy. They're going to use everything that you say against you. They're going to use it against you. They are literally trying to bait you into arguing with them so that they have leverage and power against you. They want you to fuck up, right? They want you to lash out. They want you to react. That's what they've done, and maybe you've done that in the past, and and then they pulled you back in. They hoovered you back up again, because then you were the one that had to take accountability. You were the one that had to apologize, and then they pulled you back in and said, "Oh, it's okay, you're not perfect, yeah." But as soon as you call them out on their bullshit, then the rage comes again. That they get so triggered because you trigger so much shame and rage. They want to tear you a new, you know what, because of their triggers, their rage. Look at my green fro here. Do you like that? Yeah. Should I grow a fro? I couldn't grow a fro anyway. More like something else. But yeah. There's a lot of people confused about my earlier video, that I was basically saying that you should just bend over and take it like a champ. No, you stand up for yourself. Not when I say don't defend yourself, that means you don't buy the bullshit. You don't get pulled in. You don't get drawn in to the gaslighting and the manipulation. No, you just let them, because if you already said your piece, if you know who you are, if you truly know who you are, you say your piece. Say it once, and then if they keep antagonizing you, keep trying to gaslight and trigger you, get you to react, they've won. Just stop investing, because you know that the game is up. Then you realize, oh wait, they're not actually trying to have an honest discussion. They're not trying to understand the situation. They're not trying to understand me. They're not trying to resolve anything. They just want power and control. They want validation. They want supply. They want to destroy me because they feel destroyed inside. All they feel is shame. They feel worthless. They hate people. They hate the world. They hate themselves. They don't love you. They never did. They're not capable of it. So stop waiting around to see if they transform. What about you? They're destroying you. If you stay in that dynamic and you allow them to gaslight you into thinking that you're the bad one, that you're the unappreciative one, that you're the narc, eventually they are going to destroy you. They're killing you from the inside out. You don't need to stand around and take that. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. You're already frustrated. You've had enough, right? So why would you stay to fight another day? Because you love them? Well, that may be true, and that's good that you love those people, but you can love them from afar by loving yourself and removing yourself from that situation. You're not benefiting them by staying in their life anyway, because you're robbing them of their opportunity to self-reflect and to be in that shame. Be in that shame, because that'll force them, maybe if they have a semblance of self-awareness, they could nurture that and they could realize, oh wait, I've been in darkness all this time. I've been in flight or fight all this time. I've been in hypersensitivity all this time, and I've been recreating the world around me based on this stored up, recycled, traumatic emotional loop that it just keeps going and going and going. And then I've basically projected that onto every single person that means anything to me in my life. And then I've pushed them away. But if you keep staying there, feeding that, being their supply, or even worse, becoming their flying monkey, and they use you to hurdle at other people in your lives, other people that are important in your life. Because what happens a lot is these type of people manipulate other people who are very close and use them as weapons and wield them, throw them like rabid dogs against those people. You, maybe you. Or you are one of those flying monkeys. You've been hoodwinked. You've been traumatized. You've been trauma bonded to this person. And any trigger that they have, you take on because you are bonded, trauma bonded with this individual. So you will become enraged by their trigger and you will go and do their bidding for them. And that's exactly what they want. Then if you're that person that's been the flying monkey, then you have to face yourself. And you have to realize that darkness within yourself. You have to face your own shame. That's going to be ugly. But if you can face that honestly, and you can really self-reflect, then maybe you've got a chance. Most of it comes down to laziness, because it's easier to be inauthentic, false, and to propagate the lie than it is to face the truth, to face yourself. It's much easier to be dishonest and just spread rumors and hatred against others, usually those who expose the truth. But you could turn around and say, look, I've been wrong. I'm not perfect. As humans, we don't have to be perfect. That's the thing. Those people, they're so stuck on this idea that they have to be perfect, but they know they're not perfect, so they have to hide it by attacking others. When they're exposed, the shame is too great because they can't accept their imperfection, so they want to project that imperfection onto those around them, particularly those who are exposing the truth. And exposing the truth in that reality, that world, in that community is fatal. No, we can't afford to have the truth be exposed. But you didn't choose that, did you? You choose truth because you have a heart and you know that you're imperfect, but you're doing your best. So maybe you thought, oh, maybe I'm naive for thinking that. No, you're not. You're strong. Because you're chosen. You choose yourself. You have a heart. You're blessed. You, regardless of all that trauma that you experienced, you still have empathy. You still see love in the world. You still love people. You still love yourself. You might have doubts, but you still love. You still care. You even care about these people who have bent over backwards to almost destroy you. And sometimes you've probably felt actually destroyed, like you really wanted to be not here anymore, if you get my drift. But still you care. You care about these people. You still care, right? Because you chose the light, they chose the darkness. It's all about choice. They are aware of the choices that they make. It's not because they're unaware. They're aware of what they're doing. They just don't want to make the effort to choose the light because it looks too difficult for them. So they'd rather bury the shame and project it onto you as the scapegoat. Don't take it personally. You know, you focus on you. Let them be as they are. And you made the right choice to remove yourself from their lives. And if you haven't met yet, it will benefit you because you need all of your energy back. You have to regain your peace because you need to rebuild your life now after that, because you don't need to just recover from that. You need to rebuild. They almost destroyed you. You are destroyed. So you need to rebuild. And you will rebuild because you still have love within you. That spark is there within you. That will not die. You're okay. Everything is okay. You will rebuild. You are rebuilding. You will rise again as the phoenix from the ashes. Peace and love. Oh, my arm really hurts now.